name's Sean.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Dee.
And what nationality are you?
I'm half Fiji and half Irish.
I'm half Samoan, half Fijian.
Full cookie. Full Islander.
And were you all born in Australia?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
And lived in Australia your whole life?
Yep.
What challenges did you face in Australia with trying to keep your culture and your traditions going?
It's pretty hard to keep. It was pretty hard for me to keep my culture. 'Cause I grew up in a really Aussie school, so I was the only sort of coloured person. So it was pretty hard to be integrated into my friends, but at the same time keep true to my culture. So in kindy, I never had any friends who had giant afro, and everyone thought it was really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of hard.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
For me, it was pretty easy because the schools that I went to, majority of the kids were Pacific Islanders. So it wasn't that hard to connect with everyone, so chill.
And were you able to keep some of your traditions? And if so, what traditions? Like food, anything, like any kind of traditions that you were able to keep?
Yeah, in high school it was a lot easier. I think because, same as Dee, I had a lot of Islander friends. So, things like food and your hair and things like that, it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But it would be hard to bring that to other cultures.
I was actually the only Islander at my school, so I went to an all-white school. So I don't know, it wasn't hard, but it was different for me. Yeah.
Just the same as Lissy, eh? Pretty easy.
Did you find education like? Did they kind of allow for your culture to shine in it, or was it hard to kind of reach the academic level you wanted, or did you find anything difficult within the school system at all?
For me, it was in high school they accommodated for it. Like I did all my study notes to beats, so we'd sing and through our notes. But you can't really apply it to everywhere, so that was.
Mine would be, some of my teachers, they wanted to know more about my culture. So I got a few of my cousins to come and we just did like a traditional dance and showed them like a little bit more of what my culture was like. And everybody like thought that our culture is like really happy and welcoming and stuff like that. So that was pretty much all I did.
If you were a teacher in the school and you had class and there was South Pacific Islanders in there, what would one way you would want to teach them that you know they're going to understand and they're just going to flourish and just really appreciate your education?
I think by incorporating some of their ways of learning into, like, not all of them will sit and write for a long time. So incorporating their lifestyle into the classroom.
I reckon for me growing up, and I think for a lot of Pacific Islanders, we get too distracted a lot. So
Everyone,
I think we need more like chill time, eh?
Yeah, we're really loud and
Like
out
breaks,
there.
small breaks in there, Too many distractions.
It's Alex Tussie Francis Afo.
And where were you born?
I was born in Auckland, New Zealand, and in '85, and I came over to Australia in '86.
What traditions have you been able to keep living in Australia?
My background is Samoan, so it's quite traditional. I learned a lot of my traditions from back home, like at home from mum and dad, but I learned the language mostly in church.
And are you able to keep any rituals, any traditions like weddings, 21st? Are you able to keep them the same here in Australia? Or?
It's a bit difficult because I'm not strong in the culture because I don't speak it quite fluently. So over here in Australia I'm considered a Samoan, but then when I get a Samoan I'm considered Australian.
So if you were a teacher,
Yes.
what's one thing you think you could incorporate in your classrooms so South Pacific Islanders can reach their potential?
Just making sure that everything I do teach or is relevant to these kids, like especially Islander kids, because there's different learning at home compared to what we learn at school. So if I can make it relevant to these kids and probably make them believe that they can do it, then.
What's your name?
My name is Rome Wulia.
Yep.
Yep.
And where were you born?
I was born in Auckland, New Zealand.
Auckland, New Zealand.
Yep.
So what's your background? What's nationality?
My nationality is Samoan. Both my parents are Samoan. They migrated to New Zealand in the 1970s.
What does being Samoan mean to you? Like,
Samoan for me is it's my way of life. It's my my worldview, pretty much. Like I grew up in New Zealand, but still in my home we were raised Samoan.
Yeah.
We were taught to speak the language, and so everything's Samoan for me.
what traditions did you have back in New Zealand or in Samoa that you were able to bring to Australia?
The Samoan traditions like respect. That's a huge one in my culture. So having to respect women, respect each other, respect our elders, those sort of things I bring here as well. I'm respectful when it comes to old, in regards to old people and women and that sort of thing. Knowing how to behave in society as well. We're taught to respect authority and to know our place in society, and so I can bring that as well. The language.
Yeah.
I still speak my language and stuff, but apart from that.
What about any cooking, any traditional
Cooking.
food you were able to bring over?
Yep. Like we come here and there's taru here, green bananas, that sort of stuff, corned beef.
And in the weddings and 21st, is the dancing and that culture like that, is it still strong in Australia? Or?
Yes, in Australia, it is still strong, but it depends on the families. Like our family, who came to Australia in the 80s, 90s, who are originally from Samoa, from the 70s, keep their culture alive, and so the weddings there are traditional and cultural. But those who have been in Australia for years, probably fourth generation or third generation, it's gone in some families. But for us, we're first generation in Australia, so it's still strong.
Okay, so you got 5 children living in Australia here.
Yep.
How's the education for them?
Well, they're growing up Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're not learning anything of their culture here, and they're finding it hard to identify with being Samoan.
Yeah.
They see themselves as being more Australian since they grew up here, educated here, so they're pretty much, in their minds, they're Australian.